and welcome. It's Kate from Zen Stitching, and we're up for another day of talking with our artists who are part of the Making Zen online retreat. So we've had some wonderful guests on over the past 2 weeks, and today is our last day of talking to fabulous artists, and we're going to be joined by Embroidery by Nat. I just sent her a quick message and we will connect very shortly. Such is the amazingness of modern technology. So we've got lots of people joining in, which is fabulous. And I know our Facebook group is absolutely pumping with excitement as people are trying all of the different workshops and putting these new skills into practice. So if you're also a Facebook fan, please do go over and join the Making Zen Facebook group. It's free and it's a really fun way to connect with others. And
I'm here.
Here she is. Hello. I'm really well. I was just saying a moment ago, I'm super excited to connect with you because we're practically neighbors.
I'm also super excited. Thank you for having me here.
Oh my goodness, it's absolutely awesome. And I'm thrilled that you're part of it, because we're almost neighbours, just in the adjoining province. For people who are not that familiar, New Brunswick is right next to Nova Scotia, so we're probably like a 4-hour drive away, something close like that, which is lovely. But what makes it really special is one of my Zen Stitchers reached out to me and said, I follow this girl on, I don't know, maybe YouTube, and she said she's moving from the Ukraine over to Canada. Can you help her in any way? So I looked you up and got in touch, and here you are. So I'm thrilled you're here, and I'd love to hear about your experiences so far.
Communities that we created, like you know, probably the same people because I know who is this. This is my patron, and she wrote me, and I contacted you. So I'm very glad that this happened, because I have something a lot to show to your community as well, because I made a lot of parents. And we just recently moved to Canada. We never thought that we will be living in Canada. We never dreamed about it, but because of work, we had to move, and it was unhealthy situation, dangerous. So, and we are happy to be here. I would like to say that people here are amazing. They are so supportive. They gave us a lot of free stuff, and this is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I have to agree with you because I'm originally from Australia, and I came over under totally different circumstances. I met a Canadian fellow and fell in love with him. So that's why I'm over this side of the world. But I 100% agree with you. The Canadians are such a super friendly, warm and welcoming bunch. Everyone is so lovely. So I'm glad that you're also experiencing that too. And I'm really, really sad that you had to leave your country and everything that you left behind, particularly some of your special cats. They stayed with your mum, but I do understand that they're happy and healthy. But I am very pleased that you're over here and you can share some of your fabulous designs and patterns and cultural experiences
you can see
with
behind
us.
of me all of those designs that I'm sharing with your community. For everyone who has all access pass, they will get access to all 4 designs you can see behind me. Those are created when I was inspired by our Ukrainian drawing style. It calls Petrikivka. It's a unique drawing style that was invented in Ukraine, and they use a special brush made from cat's fur Yeah, that's interesting.
Is it so?
And they also, the unique style, it's because they mix two colors together on the same brush at the same time. And when they draw, it creates a cute, a beautiful gradient. And this is how this drawing is made. And I decided to turn those drawings into embroidery. So I was drawing on my iPad, but it's not the same experience. But maybe next time, someday there is a Ukrainian community. I will go to some workshop, and I would like to learn this drawing style and also try. And so those are inspired by Patrick Yuka, and I explain it in my video tutorials how to make such gradients, but using embroidery threads.
Yes, and it's so much fun, isn't it, when you can create almost the same kind of colors and patterns and gradations in thread as you can in paint, just from how you choose the colors
Yeah,
and
with
how you
hand
mix them up.
embroidery, you can, if you know already all the techniques, you can pick up any picture you like and even photo, and you can turn it into embroidery, like I did with my photo of my hand with flowers.
Oh, wow.
And it
That's
became an
beautiful.
embroidery, so you can do it with any picture you want. Um, First, I would
Yeah.
suggest to learn from my parents, where I walk you through all the process, and I um, suggest colors, and then I suggest techniques for each object which you can display. And then when you learn it and you feel that you are ready to like try yourself in this free style, you can try something that you really liked recently and got inspired and turn it into embroidery.
I love that. Because I think a lot of people are very comfortable following a pattern, but to create a pattern from scratch can be quite intimidating. So I love that you give people the confidence to be able to do that if they wish to go and turn their
Yeah, they
ideas into
should
embroidery.
always follow my instructions, and I always say that you can use any kind of stitch that you like more than I used, and you can try different colors, you can experiment. And many of my students, they really do this, and when I see it and I think, oh wow, it looks even better than mine. You know, they learned this already, and I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, yeah. And have you been doing embroidery your whole life? Is it something that you grew up with, or is it something that's a more recent passion? I'd love to hear how you got into
I
textiles.
remember when I was about 6 years old, um, or early, maybe five. I was hanging out on my grandma's house, and I saw a lot of embroidery threads, big boxes of threads. It's like they are so colorful and shiny. And I asked her, "What do you do with this?" And she showed me. We always have in our houses in Ukraine a lot of embroidered stuff, like decoration, all of that. It was embroidered, and it is a Ukrainian national tradition. Every woman know how to embroider in Ukraine. Yeah, and
Is it so?
I remember I saw her fancies uh, tablecloths, and for me it was so beautiful. I was thinking, why is this like looks so realistic? Because most of the embroideries was like cross-stitched, and some of them was uh,
Mhm.
hand embroidered, and it gives really realistic design, like a realistic look. And I recently created several designs with pencils. Um, because I remember them from my childhood, and I really loved them. And
Wow.
There is the small
That
one.
is beautiful. So that was inspired by
Yes,
your
it's
grandmother's stitching. That
she
is
has
stunning, Nat.
it at home, and I also wanted to create something like that.
Wow, they are beautiful, and people are sending in love hearts as we're looking at this too. They are just stunning. The attention to detail and the colors, and also the beautiful fine, almost like filigree, the way you've got those curly cues coming out from behind the flowers. They're just stunning. And for people who really enjoy embroidery, are following along to your workshops as part of the Making Zen Retreat, um, once they've participated in those workshops, are they able to, do you think, take the next step and do some embroideries like your violets, or would you suggest, what would you suggest they do if they wanted to end up being able to embroider some beautiful
I
flowers like
usually
that?
split my embroidery designs for three levels. So beginners, intermediate patterns, and I have also patterns for advanced teachers. So those are basically like something between intermediate and a little bit advanced. Like, and so after this, if you manage to do them, you can buy some advanced embroidery designs that I have, and I also give 50% discount for everyone who has all access pass, and they can purchase some advanced patterns or continue with intermediate patterns, or if they can't do those patterns, they can try first some basic beginner patterns and then try those patterns. So whatever
Yes.
they like.
You got a little bit for everybody, depending on where they're at in those in their stage of embroidery. So I'm guessing that means that it's probably good to do a little bit of practice if you want to try the pansies. And do you have those patterns in your shop? That was my other question. Is that something that people can purchase, or they're on their
I have
way?
some free patterns on my website that anyone can download. Just go to my website, embroideryartbynat.com, and you will find those free patterns. Those are not, oh, this one is simple. You can learn up to 9
Wow,
basic
look at
stitches
that.
from this pattern. You can try different colors, variated threads. I really like to use variated threads in my work. You can see it creates
Yeah.
some cute gradients and natural look, even if the stitch is really simple and basic. But it gives like additional realistic look, you know. And this pattern is free. Anyone can download it and try a hand. This is really simple. And I'm planning to make a video tutorial in future, because I realized that I don't have it, but many people already stitched it. But yeah, it's good to have one. And if you like
Yeah.
stitching some complicated patterns, you can pick some object from it and stitch it on just another piece of paper, or sorry, piece of fabric, like I did with this bee. It's just a part of
Mm.
bigger pattern. When I used those bees, if you are not sure that you can stitch it right
Oh,
away on the bigger pattern, you can transfer something to just a small piece of fabric, sorry, and stitch it. And so yeah, create a nice design.
wow.
This one is going to be as a free pattern in future. I will make it. I didn't do it yet, so I have a lot of plans, like wow, so many work to do. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The brain goes
Yeah,
much
I
quicker than the
have so
fingers, doesn't it,
many
when it comes
ideas all the
to
time
coming
floating
up
in
with.
my head, and like I have to choose with some one specific one, because
Yeah.
making one pattern it takes me about a month, like designing it, then deciding, planning which kind of stitches I'm gonna use, which colors. Before I was also running monthly embroidery kits on Patreon, so I had to order the fabric and threads and pack all the kits and ship once I designed it and planned everything. Then I started embroidering it, and I usually did live streams, like few times a week. I went live and stitching some part of this design, and it's really fun. It was really fun. So you can,
Yeah, it is. It's lots of fun
it
because you
just
can, oh,
trenches
that's beautiful
knots.
too. Is that with it? Yeah. And so lovely though. Lovely to see the colors and the shape and the textures all coming together with that. And all of your work is beautifully displayed in hoops. And a question came in earlier about from someone who was curious about how do you display them on walls and how do you keep them clean?
When I was in Ukraine, I had a room, my studio. I also have a room here. I didn't decorate the wall yet. You can use hooks. I will show you. Those are sticky hooks. You know them?
Oh, yes.
And I didn't try them yet here, but in Ukraine there was different hooks. And people say that those are easier to put off if you need. So your wall will not suffer from any holes, and anything should be left. So I will try those. My patron also
Yeah, they're
used
pretty
it
good.
and they recommended me, so I will try. And maybe I will decorate one of the walls here in my studio. And when I say frame it in the
Wow.
hoops, it creates like a cloud of designs, and it really looks beautiful. Or you can display them on the shelf like this.
Yes. Yeah, they're so lovely, Nat, and
You
you've
can use
got such beautiful
something like
threads as
this
well.
if it's
Oh,
small
look,
hoop.
and little,
If it's bigger hoops, there are different um, things like that. I don't know how to call it. So,
yeah, it's kind of like a mini
yeah.
easel. They are. Yeah, and one of the beautiful things about the embroideries that you're teaching as part of the Making Zen is the contrast of the colors on the black fabric. Is that something that is unique to Ukrainian embroidery, or that's something that you just wanted to work with? How did you come up with working on, because I wouldn't have thought of
Yeah,
working on a black
I saw
background.
embroideries from other designs, artists online. Um, yeah, really. I didn't think about that not many of them use black fabric. Black background, it comes from
Mm.
Petrikivka painting, and I was always loved
Ah,
how it looks on the black, because it gives you so much contrast and color, and it's so like pop up from everything, you know. I tried to do the same with white fabric. This is the same design from the set, and I
mm,
used purple colors,
beautiful.
and it's also nice, but this makes it look so effective, you know. And in Ukraine we also sorry, like embroidered shirts. Basically they're or white or black. Sometimes it can be red. So I also have seen a lot of embroidery on black fabric. So I like it and I use it in my work.
Yes, it's absolutely stunning. I think the contrast with the black fabric and then the vibrant colors on top are just totally beautiful. And I was thinking, I remember seeing a post that you put up on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, probably even longer now, because you were super excited. You'd found all these wonderful threads from Michael's at a very good price. And I just thought, do you have a favorite thread that you like to work with, like different brands or varieties, or do you have a
In
preference
my
at all?
work right now, I use and if I use any kind of thread, I always transfer it to DMC codes, because DMC is usually like available worldwide, and sometimes people don't have access to Encore threads. I also like seasons, Cosmo seasons. They look like this. This is
Okay.
Japanese threads. They may be more expensive than DMC, but the quality is also like very good. It's shiny, and they have a big variety of variated threads, so that's why I love them. I got them from my friend from United States. She sent me from there because it wasn't available in Ukraine. And also in Poland, I found some threads. I don't remember the name, but they was also a great quality, and I tried them. So basically, I use those threads. I try to use those threads which are available in most of the countries. So because I'm making patterns and I want people to be able to find them. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and that makes total sense too, because if, say, for example, they're looking to replicate one of the beautiful designs that are behind you, then it's nice to be able to know that you can pop down to your local craft store and pick up those particular colors, or find them online too, which is pretty good because a lot of people like to get their craft supplies that way too. And just thinking about or touching upon the Japanese threads that you were working with that you really like, and just how they might be a little bit more expensive, because I've kind of tried all different kinds of threads myself, and I always find that the little bit extra that you pay in value is worth it for the comfort and the pleasure that you have of working with threads. I've found, and it
Yeah,
looks like you
I
might have had
had
the
this
same
experience
experience
with
too.
some not quality threads. The company contacted me and wanted to promote the threads. They sent me a pack of these threads. So I tried. Before I will make an advertisement, I will always try it and make sure if it's good. But if it's not, I will not take any part on it, because and when I was using those threads, they also always make fluffy, you know, and I like when the thread lies down and it's smooth. It gives me a smooth, shiny surface, but those threads are not, and it was complicated to stitch. I was constantly making unwanted knots, and it was even breaking often. And yeah, I was afraid maybe they can, after washing, they can leave marks or bleed, you know. And I tried to wash them, but no, they didn't bleed. But anyways, I didn't like them in my work. It was like so hard to stitch with. And maybe when people try to embroider for the first time, they don't want to spend a lot of money, you know, and they take those threads because I see them, some of them, they're available on our shops, and they hang like displayed near the quality threads, and people see the price and maybe that's one also good, but no. And it makes their experience bad, and they think that maybe embroidery is not my thing, and they drop it and never come back to it again. So it's very dangerous. And I never recommend using those threads, especially when you first time trying it, and you need to experience the pleasure of stitching. You should enjoy it, and you should like the result that
Yeah.
you are getting. Yeah, so
Absolutely, yes. I mean, there's nothing more frustrating than getting unwanted knots and tangles, and even just like you say, that when it was going fluffy, like that frayed look. It's not what you want. So yeah, you make it the process as enjoyable as possible, and work with some delicious threads that are good quality, so that you can have fun doing it as well. That's such good advice. And one question came in about can the threads that you work with be washed? I think you touched upon this, but I thought we should answer the
that
question,
washable
address the question.
stabilizer.
Um, I think it was more about the threads that you're working with. Are they washable?
The threads. Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Yeah. So can you wash the embroidery threads that you
Yes, of
like to
course. With
work
those
with?
quality threads like Anchor, DMC, Cosmos Seasons, you can wash and you can embroider on your clothing, and so it's washable. It never bleeds or anything. I prefer to not wash my embroideries if it's like something complicated and delicate embroidery. So I like to use heating erasable pen. It's just a gel pen. You can buy it in any shop. It has, so I will show it. It can be not only some famous brands like Pilot Friction, it can be some other brands, maybe cheaper ones, but they all work the same. This one I bought in Ukraine. I don't know if you can see it. They all have this tip, so it means you can erase it on heating. And before using, if it's some unknown pen, you can make a test, check it. If it's after heating completely gone, so it's a good one. If not, like maybe better not use it. Or stitch above the edges, so they are not going to be visible, you know, outside of the edge. Put your needle outside of the edge, so they are not going to be visible anyway. But I like that they give a sharp
that makes
lines that I need. Some people use some markers, water erasable markers, and they bleed and line became so thick. I don't like it. And I don't like to wash my embroideries as well, because I like to keep them clean. To keep them, I have a problem with people can have some dust, and people with cats can have some fur on your embroidery. So I use this. Just gently clean it with this thing. It's like sticky paper on it, and it will collect all the fur. And in some places you can use this just to pick every
that's a good
single fur,
idea.
because when I'm doing video tutorials, I don't like the fur everywhere, so I carefully pick it out, because like cats are always where I'm stitching, so I can't get rid of it completely.
Yeah. Good idea. Well, there's nothing worse than having spent all this time working on a beautiful embroidery only to be distracted by a little bit of fluff here or there. So I wouldn't have thought of using tweezers.
Sometimes it's like the fur becomes I don't know how to say, it like it grows into my embroidery, you know. You can pick it out with those things.
Very easily, and especially if you have cats that like to help with the embroidery process as well, which I'm sure yours do.
They are my helpers.
Yes, they're very good at that, aren't they? good company. Well, Nat, it's been such a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you so much for being part of the Making Zen online retreat and making time to talk with us today. For people who are following along and would like to check out Nat, your workshop is going to be free this week, which is super exciting. And if you'd also like to check out Nat's website, which is embroiderybynat.com, and you can get that beautiful free pattern, and which I'm guessing we can also find you through your Instagram link in bio as well.
You can get one of my samples for free. This is a free one. I'm making an embroidery book.
Lovely. Whoa, all these amazing things. Oh my goodness, that's
so
amazing.
You start from
That's so
just
generous.
Simple line stitches, then you learn blanket stitches. I give some examples of that. You can decorate your clothing with this, make some napkins. And we go through all the embroidery stitches which I use in my designs. So this is the French knot page. We also learn how to paint on the fabric using watercolors. It's very interesting. All the video tutorials are free. They're on my YouTube channel. You can check them out. This is a Lazy Daisy page.
Oh my goodness, how much fun.
And I recently finished the chain stitch page, and we have a lot of pages to go. We are going closer to the leaves and flowers and thread painting, shading techniques. So next pages are going to be more complicated, and we will make a cute soft book out of those pages, and you will go in like everyone can make this book and then flip to those pages, and they can serve as a live examples of stitches. And you will decide from that which color to use, how many strands to use, which kind of stitch to use in such situation. Different, you will see which texture it gives. And this is a really nice way to learn embroidery from the scratch, from the very beginning and to the advanced techniques.
Yes. Oh, I could imagine how much fun. So you're learning and also at the same time creating this beautiful pattern of beautiful book of patterns and stitches that you can always refer back to. So like if you're doing the color blending when you get to that stage, or all of the different processes, you've got that there at your fingertips. So that's such a fabulous resource, and so generous to share that with everyone. I can imagine everyone's going to rush out and get a copy of that so that they can get started instantly.
I even have some kits available. They left and you can get a chance to get them, because I will not do any restock. I'm just selling those kits which I left in Ukraine. My mom is packing my kits and shipping from there with love. So with love from Ukraine. And yeah.
Oh, that sounds fabulous. Well, that sounds great. So everybody, let's go and check out all of these amazing bits of goodness, whether they're kits or patterns or all of the above. Show Nat some love. Embroiderybynat.com. And also join us for the Making Zen online retreat. Share what you stitch, hashtag Making Zen May 23. Join us in the Facebook group as well. Is a wonderful way to share what you're doing and get more inspiration. And is there anything else you'd like to share with us, Nat, before we wrap up for the day?
I think if you are looking for some community of embroidery stitchers, I have a Patreon. You can join and support me as an artist. And by joining on Patreon, you will get access to a lot of embroidery patterns and video tutorials. Many of them are exclusive only for Patreon, and you will be like involved in my creative process. Every time I create something, I share on Patreon, and you will get access to anything new I create right away on Patreon.
That sounds wonderful. In fact, I could imagine that it's just a wealth of inspiration and knowledge, because going back to the patterns that you have contributed to the All Access Pass, not only have you don't contributed the patterns for people to embroider, but you've also got hours of video for people to sit and stitch and follow along and watch how you do each of those individual stitches. So I could only imagine that the Patreon is even more inspiring, and just
It's
so
more
much
than
information there at your
thousand,
fingertips.
more than 100 of exclusive video tutorials, more than 50 embroidery patterns. It's a lot. And I also ask patron what they want to stitch next, and we are like doing a brainstorm and voting, and we are making I'm hosting a Zoom video chat every month with my patrons to get to know them and make friends. You can find other friends from all around the world, because people are from different countries, different parts of the world there, and it's very interesting when we share culture, traditions, what the weather looks like in their place, and all of that. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like a wonderful place. So I'm guessing we can find all of that through your Instagram, link in bio, or embroiderybynat.com. Thank you once again, Nat, for joining us. It's been a pleasure to chat with you, and I can imagine that there's so many people excited to try all of your different patterns that you have available. Sending you much love, and thank you so much for being part of the Making Zen Retreat.
Love to you.
Much love to
as
you.
Well. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a really interesting experience. I'm very happy to be part of this Zen teaching, and I'm hoping to take a part in your next ones. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, you bet. I'm looking forward to that too. Much love.
Bye.
Enjoy
Thank
the
you
rest
so
of your
much.
day. Thank you. Bye-bye.